After the huge success of making a lot of fans in the spectacular concert that was heralded last weekend, the South Korean entertainment world is again heralded by the incredible fans of one of its main idols, Jungkook. In an atmosphere of excitement full of love and euphoria, the Golden Maknae of BTS suddenly became a cringing human being who not only made thousands of soldiers choke, but also made his close friend and colleague, Park Jimin, cry on stage. This moment went viral on social media in just seconds, with the hashtags Jungkook Big Announcement and hashtag Jimin Crying instantly trending on various platforms, from Twitter to TikTok. What exactly happened that night? And what big decision did Jungkook make that Jimin couldn't hold back tears? Let's walk through the emotional story that happened after this legendary concert. Concert featuring The Heart, the return of two stars. The concert held at the Seoul Olympic Stadium was not just an ordinary performance. This is a special moment that marks Jungkook and Jimin's return to the stage after completing their military service. Songs from world singers became the venue, featuring Lightstick, Spandung duets, and memories of two idols they had longed for. Throughout the first song, the energy of the concert is played incredible. Jimin was visibly choreographed with emotion in the song, Like Crazy, while Jungkook entered the stadium with his powerful vocals and action while performing Seven and Alone Beside You. Haru's happy mood is inevitable. However, no one believes that the most important moment is when it comes to the end of the show. Jungkook puts the mic on. The audience can't sleep. Encore song with all the members present virtually through the screen, including RM and V. Jungkook performed as one. He lifted Jimin for a moment, then lifted the sea of soldiers that became a stadium with teary eyes. The reason gets stronger when you hear the mic again. Even Jimin, who was next to him, seemed to see that big things kept happening. "I never imagined I would say this on stage tonight," Jungkook said in a trembling voice. "But there is something that I have been thinking about for a long time, and now, I'm ready." The whole stadium suddenly went silent, and the surveillance cameras went straight to Jungkook's serious but gentle face. Man says, I will. Time to listen to my music in full. I am very grateful for the participation of the group activities and the temporary focus on my solo work." Jungkook continued, adding a surprised voice from the audience. At that instant, the cheers turned into murmurs of disbelief. Jimin, who was standing next to him, immediately looked at Jungkook with his eyes wide open. The result was a drastic change from the spirit of the concert to joy and excitement. "I love BTS, ARMY, and everyone who has been with me ever since. But as a musician, I felt like there was something I had to find out for myself. I want to explore, creating music that is truly born from his own struggle." Then, with a loud but firm voice, "Action Jimin, infinite tears." When the camera recorded Jimin's face, the emotional moment was unforgettable. Tears were already streaming down her cheeks. He tried to do his eyes by hand, but did not manage to make them out of disrepair. Jimin, who was known to be very close to Jungkook, not like brothers, seemed completely fascinated by the man. Shortly thereafter, he found Jungkook closely in the middle of the stage, and the two were revealed inside a full-length punch because, however, there are some things that need attention, such as pain and negative emotions that have just been felt. "Sorry, I just said waking up tonight would be like this," Jimin said after he finished speaking, his voice barely audible. "I know Jungkook. He is always sincere in his decisions. If this makes you happy, I will miss you to the end." What will happen to BTS? Singer Jungkook is directly involved in speculation about the future of BTS. Is this going to be BTS disbanding? Is this the beginning of the group's hiatus as a whole? However, the show from Big Hit Music, BSH, quickly put on an official show. Jungkook's desperation to focus on solo music is part of the creative freedom we fully support. BTS is not happy. The group will remain active together according to an agreed schedule, and each member is given space to explore their personal projects. Nevertheless, many fans admitted that this decision remains an important point in BTS's sales history. Jungkook, who has been a pillar of the group's vocals and performance, now chooses to fend for himself for a while. This is no small decision. Fans' reaction, full support and prayers flowing. Despite the initial shock, About quickly gained tremendous support. Many wrote messages of love and passion for Jungkook through social media. "We will always help, no matter what your problem, Jungkook. As long as you're happy, we're happy too. Jimin won, and we cried too. But we know the relationship this time will always be strong. Solo struggle, we are ready to help, Golden Maknae." Tags like hashtag always with Jungkook, hashtag we love you Jimin, and hashtag BTS forever are trending in over 20 countries in less than an hour. Unforgettable moments of friendship. The furthest thing from the night was not just Jungkook's greeting, but how he and Jimin greeted each other. After the consultant, the camera captured their moment backstage. Jimin caught Jungkook's hand, trying hard to stay calm despite his small eyes. On the other hand, if there are fans who come through the street directly in Weverse, stating that although their street will remain for a while, their union remains. Jimin Hyung was the first person I told so this. Jungkook said. "And the action, yes, like tonight," he said with a chuckle, smiling affectionately. A night full of tears. Jungkook takes a life choice. Jimin can't be independent. Changing options, backing out of options. "I love you, I love the music, I love this stage. But as an ordinary human being, there's a side in me that wants to live happily," he continued. "I want to live my life peacefully, behind the scenes. Maybe this is when I'm not always in front of the camera." The phrase instantly appeared throughout the concert arena. Jimin looked surprised and looked at Jungkook without words. This cheer comes from before, not out of euphoria, but out of ignorance and emerging emotions. Many supporters began to rise, even more than the sobs from the stands of the stands. Suddenly, Jimin looked weak. He made a small microphone attached to his ear and immediately sat on the stage floor while holding his face. You run towards him, but Jungkook seems to hit his best friend, making him tightly in front of everyone. "Jimin, you can't stay with us." In a moment of emotion that lasted more than 10 minutes, Jimin was finally able to get back up. His eyes were puffy, his voice was trembling, and he seemed to have difficulty speaking. But the microphone only picked up his words as he recalled towards Jungkook. "Hyung, you can't trust us like this. I know you lost, but we're not done yet." Jimin's words are like discovering how great their relationship is not just a group, but a family that has received ups and downs for more than a decade together. However, there are a few things to keep in mind, this time with a mixed spirit of freedom and hope. Specialization began to develop. Does this mean Jungkook is going on a long-term hiatus? Will he really retire from entertainment? Or just want to focus on areas outside of music, such as production, visual arts, or even personal life? The Big Hit Music Agency has not yet presented an official performance of the evening. However, staying with Jungkook, Jungkook Will Love You, and Jimin instantly became the #1 trending globally in less than an hour after the concert was over. Some netizens speculated that Jungkook may be under mental stress after revealing himself and returning to such a good world. There are also those who believe that he wants to develop his personal side, such as love relationships, family life, or even advanced study plans that have been ongoing.